But to say that 100% of all people in Eureka Springs have said no would be a false statement. As far as, I do have a question about the resolution, and you'll have to just bear with me, but is there a reason? I know it's a resolution and it's always been done as a one-time. Is there the opportunity for it to be done within a period of time as opposed to a one-time and specific date? And that would be a question for the mayor.
I'm not sure your question is, can it be extended for several years, you mean?
No, what I'm asking is, for example, if a resolution was done, can it be for a period of time, not necessarily a year, but could it be done for a period of 1 or 2 months, or a specific start date and end date within that calendar year, as opposed to a one use? Is there, are there guidelines that require us to only do this as a one-time use?
Mr. Weaver, did you hear the question? Are you still there?
I'm here. Yes. The reason we specify it to one night and one night as a alternate is because it is only a resolution. It is for a very limited purpose, as opposed to an ordinance which would make for a longer change in the law.
Okay.
And it could be done for a longer period, but it's more appropriate for it to be very limited in scope as a resolution.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Meyer?
Last year, the whoever it was that was going to be shooting them off had a $1 million liability policy or something. It was huge. It's the same people that are going to shoot it off this year?
Yeah, it's a.
They're going to hire the same group?
Yeah, it's a commercial company. It's not me.
No?
It used to be. I used to set them off for the city, but no.
And you know, I'd feel better if the fire chief was here and talked to him about that.
The fire chief did go up and look at the site, along with the fire marshal. It's the same site that they approved last year. And my understanding is it's the same company, a pyrotechnic company that did it last year is going to be the same company this year, which is a professional pyro company. And as you mentioned, has a $1 million liability policy and are licensed. I don't know the name of the company, but it's, from what I understand, it's the same company. All right, Ms. Snyder?
Well, obviously, y'all weren't paying attention last week, because every single person who got up here and talked about this whole plan said absolutely no to fireworks. I thought I brought my other letters with me tonight that I've gotten in the week since, but no, I don't. Every single one, no fireworks. That's what they keep saying, no fireworks, don't be ridiculous. Now, aside from the fact that, yes, it has been 100% of the people have said no, I have yet to hear one single person, except for the special meeting and you two being for it. Other than that, it has been the residents say no. Their pets were traumatized, there's no reason for it. You may be able to watch them all over the place, but that doesn't mean you're still going to be healthy and safe. The other big thing that this comes down to, here's my note on this part, assisted by city personnel, the firing, I'd still like to know who that is. Basically, what y'all are asking the mayor to do after all of these compliments he's gotten from the local people about sticking to his guns about no permits, is to say, too bad, we're special, break what you said about no permits. Because this is a special event. It needs a permit. The mayor has said absolutely no permits. Now, if we say yes to this one and allow a permit to come out for this, every single person who comes out for any kind of event whatsoever, whether all of us want it or not, won't matter, because they'll say, well, you broke your ruling on that permit, so I want one. So you're opening the door to that too. Try being smart, logical, and listen to the people who hired you. They say no.
Ms. Green?
I'm going to respectfully disagree with Terry. To me, it is an event, and it's not a bad event. I mean, in a normal year, yeah, it is like Bob said, it is beautiful, and it's a fun way to celebrate. I just don't think this is the year. I think Terry is probably correct. There's a lot of places to look, but the majority of the people that we're going to invite are going to come downtown. And it was hard, from what I understand, it was hard to see, except in a few select places. And they're going to gather downtown, and they're going to be close. And as you have seen, we've had a hard time with making people wear masks. Who's going to police this? I mean, who's going to police it? I just don't think this year is the year.
All right, any other comments? Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, first of all, I wish I represented Mickey's constituency because it would be easy to make a decision. Unfortunately, the people that I represent, they always have a gamut of opinions on everything that comes to the table. And it's a couple of questions, I guess. Mr. Mayor, why are you willing to override your own no permit policy?
In this case, I think it's something for the citizens. It's also, and I think what maybe the council and the citizens of Eureka Springs forgotten, it's also the 142nd birthday of Eureka Springs. It's a celebration of Eureka Springs. And so to me, it is a special day. And I happen to like fireworks. I don't think it's going to be bringing in, there's places, actually right up the street from where you live and right below where I live is the best spot in town to watch the fireworks. So I know there's places all over that can be spread out and see it, not just Basin Park. But
I don't mean to make light of people and their dogs because I have a dog, but yesterday my great-granddaughter that I got to see for the first time in 2 months came over to our house, and she had this little wiggle-waggle duck that scared my dog to death. We took the dog next door and left it next door while she was there. We could have taken the toy away from her. It's an easy solution. I don't expect the stores to stop selling wiggle-waggle ducks because my dog is afraid of them. You know, you have to be responsible sometimes. I would like to make a motion. Can we amend? We can amend a resolution, correct?
absolutely.
Then I would like to make a motion that we amend this resolution to provide for a professional fireworks company with, $1 million liability policy.
That's who it is. Why do you need to amend it?
Pardon?
That's who does it. Why do you need to
I'll,
amend it?
I'll second that,
It's not
just for
here, or it's not
discussion.
written anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got a motion, we got an amendment and a discussion on the amendment. Ms. Harmon?
Okay, so my understanding is that that is being provided. Are you just asking it for paper trail-wise on the actual document?
Actually, I had the same concern when I was reading this at home, was it just said people can set off the fireworks. It doesn't, it's our job to be specific to say, not just anybody, it should be a professional company with adequate liability insurance.
Mr. Weaver? Are you available?
Yes.
I imagine do you have a copy of the resolution by any chance?
Not one that I could probably access very easily because it's on my phone, and I'm on the phone to you.
Can you give us a verbiage that we could put in at some point about the professional
There is
pyrotechnical?
there is in the resolution now a portion that says something about under the direction of city employees. It would need to go in that section. If someone could read me that section, I can try to give you how to change the wording.
I think it's 3, section 3 maybe?
Section 1.
It's Section 1, subsection 7.24.01,
I don't see that in the resolution.
shall be suspended as to allow one-time use of fireworks by an approved group of volunteers assisted by city personnel to put on a public performance of fireworks on July 3rd, 2020, between the hours of 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., with July 4th being an alternate night.
Can you read section 3?
We would probably add language there where it says group. We could add a sentence that says that the fireworks shall only be ignited by a licensed pyrotechnic company,
Okay, slow down.
and put in the amount of the liability you want, insurance that you want them to have. I believe the suggestion was $1 million. So put in a sentence that can only be done by a licensed pyrotechnic company who has sufficient proof of insurance in the amount of $1 million.
All right.
Okay,
So is it still part of Section 1, or will it be a separate section and move all the other numbers down?
It should still probably be there in section 1, and it still should be at the direction of the city employees, so that the fire department will be there able to correct if they see a problem.
Okay,
yep. So at the end of the end of the sentence, we will add, fireworks shall be ignited by a licensed pyrotechnical company with proof of insurance of $1 million.
Liability insurance, yes.
Proof of liability insurance. Okay. Madam Clerk, have you got that?
yes.
Okay. Ms. Snyder?
So what has to be done to cancel your permit?
No, repeat your question.
What has to be done to take away your permit? You've said no permits until
We're
September.
discussing the amendment, Ms. Snyder.
Well, because the amendment, if you have,
The amendment has
if
to
you aren't
do with-
allowing permitting.
With being by a license, if comment's got to be by a licensed pyrotech or $1 million liability policy. Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, I think Tim Weaver said something about under the direction of city personnel as opposed to assisted by city personnel.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask him if he wants to change the phrase assisted by city personnel?
I think he did. That's what I'm raising.
Mr. Weaver? Did you hear that?
I couldn't hear all of what Mr. Thomas said exactly.
He said the question, the subsection 1 says, a one-time use of fireworks by an approved group of volunteers assisted by city personnel, and you said it should be a group of volunteers under the direction of city personnel.
I think the direction is probably correct, and we need to probably take out the word volunteers, because the pyrotechnic company is going to want to be paid.
By
It can be paid by the same way as the fireworks, by private contribution, but they're not going to volunteer to set things off if they've got $1 million policy costing them money.
by approved pyrotechnic, how about, that's where we put the licensed people in.
Yes.
Wait, no, it's getting all mixed up. Let's stick with approved by group, and then you want the phrase that takes out assisted by. What is the phrase you want plugged in there?
Under direction.
Let's let Tim say it.
I think under the direction of, or with the assistance, either one will work.
Under the direction of,
City personnel.
City personnel.
thank you.
The ultimate call should go to someone who belongs to the city directly.
Okay.
Either our fire marshal or our fire chief, most likely,
Thank you.
or police chief if necessary.
All right, further discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, all those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
No.
No,
Who are the noes, please? Thank you.
Oops,
4-2.
I just lost Mr. Weaver here.
Okay, well, we can go on because we have a product now.
All right, we got a motion, no, I don't have a motion. Ms.
Yes, we
Snyder?
do.
No,
We don't?
there was no motion yet.
Thank
Terry's,
The mailbox is
All right, Mr. McClung?
I'd like to make a motion that we assign this resolution as amended a number and read it for passage.
Second.
All right, discussion, Ms. Snyder?
Okay, so I want answers from all of you. Are you telling the people up here your lives don't count? Because that's exactly what you're doing. You heard everybody in here 1 week ago saying some of the ideas were really great, let's do them when we can, but no fireworks. What the hell, what's wrong with you people? And Mr. Mayor, you've been getting compliments left and right about sticking to your guns. So you're going to sit there and say, up yours. Don't give me this 142nd crap.
please.
We celebrated the birthday before. We do it every year. This is a very special year, and I am really damn sure people understand it. And they would rather have you sit there and hold to your guns and keep them healthy and safe than do something this lame and this stupid. This is ridiculous. Does nobody listen to the people? Does nobody talk to them? Just 1 week ago, every single one.
Call the question, Mr. Mayor.
All the emails we have gotten, they have all said no fireworks.
Okay, the
Do
question.
your damn jobs right.
The questions have been called. We got any further discussion? All right, Ms. Harmon, we got
Yeah,
this question. Are you approving the second and the,
I did. Yes, I did second
For the-
Terry's.
no, for the call of the question?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, question's been called, so roll call.
Ms. Schneider,
No.
Ms. Harmon,
Yes.
Mr. McClung,
Yes.
Ms. Green,
yes.
Mr. Thomas,
No.
Melissa, did you say yes?
Well, on calling the question.
No, that's not what the vote is.
Oh, on the resolution.
We're voting on the resolution.
Okay, then I mean
We
no.
don't vote on
Right.
calling the question.
What?
We do not vote
Okay,
on calling the
then
question.
it's no on the resolution.
Well, Mr. Thomas?
Let's
did you-
start over.
Okay. Please, let's start over on this. The motion to approve and
To
read the
assign a
resolution.
number
Yes,
and read.
sign- okay.
Ms. Schneider,
No.
Ms. Harmon,
Yes.
Mr. McClung,
Yes.
Ms. Green,
No.
Mr. Thomas,
No.
Mr. Meyer.
No.
Motion fails 2-4.
All right, our next item on the agenda is, and this is resolution for the use of masks, encouraging the use of the mask in relation to the COVID-19 pandemic. Get a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss?
Second.
I have been working with the municipal league in coming up with a resolution to, for encouraging citizens to wear masks throughout the city of Eureka Springs. There's been a lot of comments about, and people wanting and encouraging me and the city council to enact ordinances requiring citizens to wear masks. So this is a resolution in that point. Did we get a motion to discuss?
Yes, we did.
Okay. The ordinances that have been passed are unfortunately unenforceable. The city cannot supersede the state and the governor's mandate. And what we're doing and what I'm hoping we can do is encourage everyone in the city to take responsibility to wear their mask. And all time, especially going into places, public places. This is not a thing that we're going to be people having fines or anything else. It's just an encouragement.
Talk straight to the mic.
Okay. Anyway, Ms. Green?
Which I know we had some email conversations about this, and I want to thank you. This is an excellent resolution, and I know that you've really put a lot of thought and a lot of work into this, so I do want to thank you for that.
Ms. Snyder?
Okay, and I'm merely curious on this because I've had 50-50 response. Why is it, okay, it says does not attempt to mandate. What was the reasoning on that?
We cannot mandate and require people to wear masks. The governor, and only the governor and the director or secretary of health have that authority.
So regardless of the fact that Fayetteville has done it and the governor has said he will not go after them, that doesn't matter?
That's still an illegal ordinance. It's unenforceable. We know what unenforceable is. We cannot enforce an ordinance that if we tried to enforce that and we had somebody and we gave them a fine, it would go to court and would get thrown out because it's an illegal ordinance.
Well, like I said, I've had a 50-50 response on this.
I'm
And
sure you did.
primarily, what the people who want the mandate, they understand that there's no way that we can enforce it, but they would be willing to have this mandated, with signs, whatever we do, so that people, at least some of the people, would then go ahead and wear a mask. They understand that there is no way. But this would at least help push some of the people into being a little bit safer and smarter.
This allows the citizens to take action for themselves rather than having the government take the action for the citizens.
Okay.
It's up to the citizens to wear their mask. It's up to the citizens to have that responsibility, it's my belief. And that's what this resolution does. Ms. Harmon?
I'm glad that you explained it that way, and I only say that because I guess my question was, almost everybody knows that there is a virus out there. Almost everybody knows that one way to prevent the spread, at least up close, is with, they've been telling us with a mask. The fact that I know that you cannot enforce it, but you've kind of canceled it out on this actual ordinance, is there not,
Resolution.
or on this resolution? I mean, I don't have an issue with it, but it seems kind of moot if it's a resolution to tell people, or to ask people to wear a mask when, I mean, we've got signs everywhere. I mean, I guess if I were to read this, if I were to read this, I'd think, well, maybe you didn't think I was smart enough as a citizen to realize this is one of the ways to prevent it.
Well,
I mean,
think
everybody knows, I mean, we've been dealing with this for 3 months.
this will
Again,
also be sent to the governor.
and what does that get us by going to the governor?
It just shows the governor that we are in support
In-
of people wearing their mask and hoping that he'll take that under his
A
advice.
further action?
Absolutely.